Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling motivation, using Roberto G. Medina's work as our guide.
Yeah, you mentioned wanting to dig into productivity, stability, how that works for individuals or, teams.
Exactly. So let's get right into it. Medina basically says motivation is, well, it's the engine. It starts us, keeps us moving, and points us to the goal.
And motivating, specifically in a company context, that's about the incentives used to push towards organizational objectives.
Okay, got it.
And Medina really stresses how vital this is. I mean, for the whole organization's health. He even points to labor-driven economies, like the Philippines example in the book, makes it very concrete.
Right, practical stuff.
He boils it down to like 3 core elements. 1, actually wanting to do the job. 2, feeling confident you can do it.
Self-confidence, okay.
And 3, making sure your basic needs are actually being satisfied.
That makes sense. And from that foundation, Medina unpacks some, well, pretty influential theories. First one, Maslow. We've all seen that pyramid, right?
The hierarchy of needs, yeah.
Well,
Starts with the real basics, physiological stuff, food, water, shelter.
Then you move up to safety, feeling secure, then belongingness, love, connection.
Esteem comes next, feeling respected, competent. Then right at the top, self-actualization, reaching your full potential.
And the key insight there, the really crucial bit, is that once a need is actually met...
It stops being a motivator.
Right.
You can't motivate someone with job security if they already feel totally secure.
You have to target the unmet need, find what's missing for that person.
Exactly. Which leads nicely into Hertzberg's theory, the 2-factor one.
Okay, how does that work?
Well, Hertzberg separates things out. He talks about hygiene factors, think company rules, salary, the kind of supervision you get, working conditions.
The basics of the work environment.
Sort of, but here's the thing. If these are bad, they make you dissatisfied. But improving them doesn't automatically make you satisfied or motivated. It just stops the complaining.
Okay. So fixing the leaky roof doesn't make me love my job. It just stops me hating the leak.
Precisely. The real motivation, Hertzberg says, comes from motivators. Things like actual achievement, getting recognized, having responsibility, opportunities for growth.
That's the stuff that actually drives engagement. Makes sense.
Yeah. Then there's expectancy theory. This one's a bit more like mental calculation.
I weigh things up.
Yeah. We ask, okay, if I put in this much effort, expectancy, will I actually hit the performance target?
Right. Can I actually do it?
And if I perform well, instrumentality, will I get the outcome, the reward?
Will they notice? Will I get the bonus?
And finally, valence. How much do I actually value that reward? Is it something I even want?
So if any link in that chain feels weak, like I don't think my effort will matter, or I don't believe I'll get the reward, or I just don't care about the reward.
And motivation tanks. It's got to line up.
It's interesting. And connects to the last one you mentioned, goal-setting theory.
Right. Goal-setting theory is pretty straightforward, but powerful. It's all about having clear goals. Think SMART goals.
Specific, measurable.
Attainable, relevant, and time-bound. Yeah. Vague goals like do better just don't work as well.
Compared to increase client retention by 10% this quarter, much clearer.
Absolutely. And commitment to that goal, plus getting feedback on how you're doing, that really directs your behavior, where you focus, how hard you try, how long you stick with it.
Okay, so those are the big theories. What about practical techniques? Medina covers those too. Right?
He does. One area is job design. This can go 2 ways. You can fit people to existing jobs, maybe using job rotation, giving realistic previews so they know what they're getting into.
Keeping things fresh, managing expectations.
Or you can fit the job to the person. That might mean job enlargement, just adding more tasks at a similar skill level.
More variety, maybe.
Or job enrichment, this is the bigger one, adding tasks that give more responsibility, more autonomy, control over your work.
Linking back to Hertzberg's motivators like responsibility and achievement.
Exactly. Then obviously rewards, both extrinsic salary, promotions, bonuses, maybe public recognition.
The tangible stuff.
And intrinsic rewards, that feeling of accomplishment, the boost to your self-esteem when you nail something.
Yeah, the internal satisfaction.
The key, Medina says, is linking rewards clearly to performance and making sure people see them as fair, as equitable, and actually relevant to them.
Makes sense. Random rewards don't motivate. What else?
Employee participation. Getting people involved, like quality control circles, small groups tackling work problems.
Giving people a voice.
Or even self-managed teams where groups have a lot more autonomy over how they operate. That ownership is huge.
Right. And finally, he mentions things like flexibility.
Yeah, flexible work schedules, flex time, compressed weeks, also family support, maybe childcare help, even things like sabbaticals, paid time off to recharge.
So creating a supportive environment overall,
It all contributes.
so pulling it all together,
Mhm.
motivation is, well, it's complex. It's driven by our needs, the goals we set, how we expect to be rewarded.
Yeah, and understanding these different angles, the theories, the practical techniques, gives you a much better toolkit, whether for yourself or for, leading others.
Definitely. It's a framework for thinking about what really drives us.
So, thinking about all this meeting basic needs, offering growth, setting clear goals, the rewards, what's one change, if you really thought about it, that you think could make the biggest difference to your own motivation or maybe the motivation of the people you work with? Something to chew on.